beautiful souls. Welcome back to another Spread This Witches, where we will be talking all things eclipse, things that are moderately and all the way witchy, and all the mystical, delicious vibe that weaving tarot and earth-centric and wild spiritualism can combine to create a fusion. We have actually been talking about wild animals. In fact, I believe the first one that we were talking about was a cougar. Is that right? Were we talking about wild animals today? We're talking about voracious appetites. We're talking about weird occurrences. And we're talking about tarot in the best possible way. Now, I, of course, am not here alone. I have with me my soul siblings. Say hello, Allora and
Hey, hey.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello.
Now, for those who might have been following the scheduling of this particular stream a little while ago, we were meant to have our Moon 513, the beautiful Racine, with us today. Now, unfortunately, Racine, for very good reasons, has had to cancel. She apologizes profusely, and we still love her with all of our hearts and wish her a great, smooth transition, because this eclipse, folks, it's hitting like Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed, let me just say. For those of you who know your references, your cinematic references, you're great. It's not Schindler's List, it's Rocky. So we're going to be talking about yumminess. Now, because it's the three of us here on our panel today and we don't have a special guest, we will be taking tarot-related questions. We will also be doing our card slinging portion of this episode, as we usually do, to round it off at the end. And we're going to kick it off with a little bit of tarot news. So we like to do a little bit of like, what's up, tarot news, when we start our lives. And I might kick it over to Chase so that he could, you know, start the tarot news.
I can do that. So I only have two things that I want to discuss. And one of those was actually something that I had to get clarification from Avalon, because apparently I'm real behind on the tarot times. Apparently I wasn't as much in the know as I thought I was. So the two decks I want to talk about, the first one I want to talk about is there is a new Dragon Tarot coming out in 2018, February, I believe. It is just called, as far as I know, if anybody knows differently, as far as I know, it's just called the Dragon Tarot, which I know there's like 4 decks out there called the Dragon Tarot. But this one looks, the reason I want to bring it up is because it actually, the artwork just looks so good. It looks just very dreamy, watercolory, different from all the other Dragon Tarots out there. I feel like every Dragon Tarot out there right now that I know of is very harsh lines and medieval and very crude looking. And this one just looks very dreamscape kind of fluid, and just it looks really, really cool. So I bring that up. And then the other deck that I wanted to talk about was the Shaman's Oracle. And I know that Avalon is not going to be the only one. I'm going to bring up the Shaman's Oracle, and everybody's going to be like, yeah, we know. We've had ours for 3 years now. I didn't know. So apparently there's a second part coming out to the Shaman's Oracle, actually coming out in October. And I've been looking at it a lot and had no idea that this dude already had a Shaman's Oracle out. I didn't know. It slipped by my tarot knowledge. And so anyway, so there is a part 2 or a compendium or a whatever you want to call it coming out to the Shaman's Oracle on October 17th of this year. So look out for that. And that's all I have. So I'm going to throw it over to Allora.
Thanks. So my tarot news is actually STW news. I've been working really hard to get all of the nominees, all of that good stuff, all the people who have sponsored the awards onto the page, and it's going to be up tonight, so you guys will be able to vote. On average, there's about 12 nominees per category. Some have a couple fewer. And yeah, everybody can vote. Please only vote once because, like I said, everybody can vote, and we have to count these. So go on there tonight. It'll be up. Tell everybody you know. Share the crap out of it. And yeah, so, and the award show is going to be September 18th. And we're going to have Lisa, Tarot Alchemist, who she was here. I don't know if she still is, but she's going to be joining us. Nico from Scarlet Moon and Jesse Huntenberg also will be joining us that night to give away the awards. So yeah, they're your awards. So go out and vote. Avalon.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, I've got just a teensy-weensy bit of news. I'm going to start off with Bonestone news because that's what I'm heavily invested in at the moment. So Bonestone sold out, folks. It sold out in just under a month. And that was freaking amazing. Now, what has been happening since then is that we have been moving through the suit of swords, which is going deliciously. If you're a member of our Bonestone and Earth Flesh Tarot group, you will have seen some of the images, the very recent ones that Anna would have posted up in the last 2 days, like so recent. But I'm also getting an absurd amount of messages on Etsy going, oh my God, it's sold out. How can I get my hands on this? So all of that information is in the Bonestone and Earth Flesh Tarot group. That is where I will be updating everyone. I'm not going to be putting that information here, there, over this place, just to suit everybody. I know that not all people are on Facebook, but between YouTube and Facebook, I'm guessing I'm going to be able to cover, you know, what needs to be covered. So that's Bonestone. And there's so much goodies going on there. Now, we've also got, we've got quite a bit of stuff, you know, in the ethers. Has anyone seen the beautiful Benabel Wen's digital YouTube-based holistic course that she's doing, holistic tarot course that she's doing? So she's done the holistic tarot book, which we know and love. It's a great reference book. And she's also got videos up. She's posting regular videos up to walk through that book with you and to give you the visual aspect of that book. So if you are new to holistic tarot, if you are new to Benabel Wen, she's amazing. There's not much more I can say. She is amazing, like with the capital A for A team, amazing. She's A team amazing. Oh my gosh. All right. Now, with that said, got a few little bits and pieces. Chase touched on this a little while back, and that is the Santa Muerta Tarot by Fabio Listrini. And that is set for release, especially on Amazon, on October 8th. There's a lot of stuff coming out October 8th. Mystical Manga Tarot by Barbara Moore, September 8th. Sola Busca is making a revival through Los Scarabeo, and that will be happening October 8 as well. So we've got a lot of stuff happening on October 8. So what else? Am I missing anything else? Am I missing anything else? I feel like I might have gone over something really, really obvious. If I can't think of it now, it's lost. It's lost. Oh, also, if you are a member of the Tarot and Oracle Collectors Reactivated Facebook group, the lovely Arwen Lynch posted a picture of an oracle deck that she doesn't know the name of, and so she's searching for that. And if you want to take a look at that and see if you have it in your collection or know of that particular deck, because it sucks when you see this beautiful tarot deck, you want to get a hold of it, you want to know more about it, but you can't find the name of it anywhere. And no matter how you search, you can't find it, because I searched for that and I couldn't find it either, which frustrated me. All right, so shall we launch into a little bit of, that's my garbage truck coming through now, that's going to make a delightful sound. Shall we talk a little bit about the eclipse? Now, I am an astrological moron, and I say that with love for myself. I won't be soon, because I am going to be studying Benabel Wen's astrological primer course. That's right. That's right. Chase has got my back there with a little visual teaser for you all. And so I would like to talk about this because August has been a crazy month. The lunation has been intense, right? So we've had eclipse, lunar, solar, I believe that's right, through the month of August, ruled by Leo, very strong creative energy, also very strong frustrated energy, very strong aggressive energy, very strong fuck off energy, very strong I want you, I must have you, let me tear your clothes off energy, just very, very strong energy, okay? So I would like, maybe Chase can talk a little bit about this because he's in the thick of it, and I reckon ALLORAH'S got quite a bit to say about it as well. I've said most of what I need to say, but I'll build on whatever they say. Chase.
Yeah, I guess I can talk a little bit about it. Again, I'm kind of like, I'm in the process of relearning everything. And so I can tell you right now that we are going to be coming out of a time. Right now, all the planets are in retrograde. So, I mean, that's kind of a huge thing. And so Mercury is going to be the first one coming out of retrograde after the 5th of September. I believe it's the 5th. And so, yes. And so, so there's going to be a whole lot of fluidity with that. And so that's going to be, I mean, for a lot of people, that's going to be a lot of felt things. And so that's huge. And, you know, that's coming after, obviously, this eclipse energy that is massive. And I don't know about you guys, but I felt it. And I felt it all day. It was just, I felt like very much like it was just like something, gravity or something was just pushing down on me all day. And that's just, it's how I felt all day. And that's how I feel now. And I'm waiting for the relief, darn it. I'm waiting for it. Allora, what you got?
Well, for me, it's so funny because I was like, nah, like there's nothing to all this. It's fine, whatever. Well, last night I woke up at 2:30 in the morning from a crazy ass dream that, like, I mean, I dream all the time, but this was different. It was one of those, it was so real and so visceral that I woke up and I was like, you know, sit up in bed and just, you know, look around like, where the fuck am I? Like, what's going on? And so that happened. And then I couldn't go back to sleep. And then I started getting, it was the weirdest shit. And it happened all day. And at the peak of the eclipse, it was even worse. But when I like do spirit work, whenever I do like paranormal investigation or anything like that, I sweat a lot. Like I will get hot, and normally I'm a cold-blooded person. So if I'm working, I don't know if it's like the energy level raises or what, but anytime that I'm consciously using my gifts, I guess you would say, or whatever, my other senses, this is what happens. Like I start getting hot and I start sweating. Well, I wasn't consciously doing anything, and I was getting like a hot flash, and then I was getting really cold, and then I was sweating to death. And I don't drink water on a regular basis because I don't like the taste of water. I know I'm so bad. But this morning I drank like half a gallon of fucking water. I was like at the sink, like, oh God, like I was just shoveling it in as fast as it would go. And then the closer that the eclipse got to its peak, when it actually fully eclipsed, I thought I was either going to pass out or throw up. Like and you know, I talked to some other people today, kind of just like gauging the different astrological signs and what was going on. Like I asked you, Chase, earlier in IG, like, you feeling weird or anything? But apparently a lot of the earth signs that I talked to today had kind of the same thing going on. And a lot of the fire signs were like super energized, but they were sweating to death. Like, and we're talking, you know, you're in air conditioning and it's, you know, 70 degrees or what have you, and just profusely sweating, like to the point to where I talked to one person who said so bad that it was uncomfortable for her to use her computer because her fingers were just sliding. So yeah. What about you, Avalon? Did you go through any of that?
I've had my own array of interesting things. I was going to say issues, but they've not all been issues. Around all of this energy for me has also been the sacred day of my matron Orisha Emanja, Odoya Emanja, and also the birthday of my deceased grandmother, my original high priestess. So I have had really interesting energy. Now I find that at this time of the year, because of where Leo primarily sits on my chart, I'm all forward. I'm like the fucking peacock. I'm like a fucking peacock with its feathers, like going, look at me, just look at me. But this time around, and this is most August time for me, right? And I'm very creative at this time. What's happening for me right now is that I have got so much that I want to accomplish, and I'm feeling this intense sense of frustration that I cannot find the time in my day. There is not enough hours in my day to accomplish what I need to do. And I've never felt like that. I've always felt like, okay, so I can't do this now, but I know that I'm going to free up some time here. It's not about me being so busy doing this one thing that I can't do it. I always have time to do the things that I want. It's that I have got so much in my head. I have 15 new tarot decks in my head. I have courses in my head. I have got my daughter turning 7, so she comes into the mysteries in her maiden aspect in October. I have got so much, and my brain feels like Chase explained, where it's like there is a weight and somebody is literally pushing down on my head. And so what I do is I clean like a fanatical person. I literally clean like a fanatical person. My senses, my actual senses are on the height. Now, I'm not very fast to use the word psychic. It makes me feel uncomfortable. The word psychic makes me feel uncomfortable, but there is no better word to describe what I feel at this moment in time. I feel so activated. If someone were to brush up next to me, I would feel them in a way that I only have when I've been pregnant. I'm very sensitive. I was always very sensitive when I was pregnant. And I feel their story, like not their superficial story, their deep, enduring story. I feel their shadow. I feel their darkness. I feel their elation as well. I feel the things that they're not saying. I feel it. And so I have not been going out very much. I also bought a bike. I bought a bike.
I also bought a bike, FYI.
I also bought a bike. Her name is Betty. Her name is Betty, yes. She's this like sweet little, gorgeous little treadly. If you want to see her, she's on Instagram. She's on my Instagram. But I have been earthing. The reason why I did this is because I don't like to walk in the very, very hot heat that is here. So the bike is that second step up. Otherwise, I get in the car and I'm in the car. I'm in air conditioning. I'm not earthing, and I don't have the wind on my face. I don't have the senses. And so for me right now, with everything that's going on, it's imperative that I earth. And I'm also, and I was just saying to the guys before, I'm working my cleanse for Ostara. So I'm eating predominantly raw foods for 2 weeks and preparing my body for my Ostara, my Coven's Ostara ritual. So I have to earth even more because I've got all of this stuff going on. I feel hypersensitive, like as though I were wounded on my skin and the new skin comes up and it's ultra sensitive to the point of like almost pins and needly. I know that that's a very graphic description. I feel very raw, very, very new skinned and just very, I don't like people in my sphere, even my children at the moment, when they get a bit too close to me because I'm all static. I'm just like, Mama needs some space. But yeah, it's been a very physical time for me. I've felt everything very physically rather than spiritually or mentally. I felt it very physically, like to touch, like the tactile effects of it. And this is what happens when Leo takes a hold of me, because it's so sun oriented, it's so extroverted, it's so out there, it's so manifested, and I can feel it. And I'm a Taurus. We're fixed earth sign. It's like, get the fuck off me, like now, like just go. I need some space. I need my breathing space.
And it's funny,
so that's about where it is. That's about where it is for me.
Well, it's funny that you say that too, because it's funny that you say that about the physicality of the energy and stuff like that. Like it's affecting you physically more than anything, which is something that today when I was just randomly talking to people, a lot of earth signs got the effects that way. And not, I don't think, I mean, I know other signs did, but I don't think as intensely as the earth signs got that. But it makes sense though, because if you think about it, it's it's in Leo, so of course the fire signs would be energized and amped and ready to go and feel like they've drank 5 Red Bulls in a row and just be awesome. And then it's funny that Chase said he felt weighed down. He's an air sign.
I feel flat.
So of course, like you put, I don't know, it just makes sense to me. Like air signs would feel weighed down. And then earth signs, we feel like we're getting burned the fuck up. Like literally. And I don't know about the water signs though. I didn't get a whole lot of feedback from any of the water sign people. Does anybody out there a water sign?
My little sister's a Pisces. My little fiery redheaded sister, she's a Pisces, and she's like steamy. It's like uncomfortable frustration where she's like venting a lot. She said she's been venting a lot. She doesn't say it in a self-aware way. She says it in a I want to kill you way. You know, I'm venting. So Pisces. Pisces. It's a thing. Now, interestingly enough, right? So with all of this going on, and we were just talking about fire, Leo, sun, here in Australia, we are, and I heard this on the radio this morning, we begin the back burning here in far north Queensland. So in preparation for fire season, we start to back burn our forests, our dry areas, you know, national parks and things like that to make sure that there are no, you know, extreme fire hazards during the hottest time of the year. And so back burning begins now. So soon what you're going to see, and this happens tomorrow, soon what you're going to see are the controlled fires being lit, ash floating through the sky, literally places of nature on fire. So it's just very interesting that this is all happening. Nothing's ever a coincidence.
Nothing is ever a coincidence. Ever.
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 Don't believe in it. Don't believe in coincidences.
No, it's funny. I have almost completely eradicated the word coincidence from my vocabulary. When I use it, it's really with muggles, and I'm like, oh, that's a fun coincidence. Because if I say that's a synchronicity, they'll be like, and I'm like,
I'm sorry. Can we get an instant? Can you do that again? I need a slow mo though. Can I get that slow mo?
Can you do it? Rewind.
One time only. until you get the pre-recorded version, in which case you can go back and front as much as you like. One must always remember that we're being recorded. So all of this is going on, right? How has it been affecting your reading? Has it tweaked your style at all? Have you been shuffling differently? Have you been using different spreads? Have you been coming up with repetitive cards that are very much in sync with what's going on? Have you completely misunderstood your cards? Are you completely disconnected? Like,
completely
are you fucked
disconnected? Completely disconnected. The last readings I've had the last 3 days. Did I just use English right? The last readings, the struggle, it's real. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I'm smushed. The last 3 readings that I had, professional readings, they were all 3 of them. Thank God they were recorded, because if they were live, it would have been the worst experience of my life, and I would not have gotten repeat customers out of that at all. It's been like, I'll lay down like I do, like in my professional readings, 95% of the time, it's just me and a Rider-Waite-Smith deck and a Celtic crossbred. I'm very just traditional in that way, and I'll lay out the Celtic crossbred. And then, sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? What was that?
I had a tickle in my throat.
Yeah, right. Anyway, interrupting my story. And I literally will lay out the Celtic crossbred, and I'll just stare at it, and I'll just keep staring at it, and I'll keep staring at it, and then I'll have to like stop the video, and I just had to start over because there was nothing happening. And that's like the first time. I don't think I've ever been affected this hard as far as readings go. Like it's the stop and restart is the theme of me right now, stopping and having to restart. Not fun.
Interesting. Well, I must admit, I rediscovered something. I have to show you so that you can see it. Hang on. Look at this.
The fuck is that?
This is my super shadow deck. This is the Les Vampire, or Les Vampires. Shadow Sky, and Shapeshifter all rolled into one. Now, I have this as a reading. It's called Behind the Veil, Between the Veils. I can't actually remember because I haven't done one for a very long time. And a client came to me recently and requested this. And I thought, wow, I haven't deck combined for a very long time. And so I was reminded of the magical nature of deck combining when done correctly. Now, this to me is a dream combination, mostly because it's all the same artist, all the same author, the same size cards, you know, everything, the dimensions are fine, same card stock, and it gives a really great reading, right? So I was reminded of deck combination. As far as reading goes, I felt like my reading style was very... it was almost conversational. Like, have you thought about this? Like, what about this? Like, you know, have you thought? It was very conversational, very, very like continuous flow conversational. And I swear there were more than just a few times where I actually heard the words of my own grandmother translated into English fall out of my mouth. Like, I don't believe that I was necessarily channeling her, but I do believe that I was sitting on the same strand of the ancestral web on that particular day where, you know, it was a matter of remembering some of the stuff that she used to say, some of the old adages, and just her way. Because when she divined, she rarely used cards for divination. She rarely used cards at all. She did wuzyus. So she did cowrie shell divination. She did omen reading. She did wax and fire and soot reading. She did a plethora of other different kinds of divination. But cards were not her favorite unless she was working with gypsy energy. And that's more from a Yoruba Macumba style way, right? And so I just found my style really there. And the information that was coming up was that kind of information. And I know you're all professional readers are going to know what I'm talking about here. It's the kind of stuff that you don't want to say to your client, but you know you have to say to your client. It's the uncomfortable shit that you have to talk about. And then, you know, depending on where you're sitting, because all of your senses are really like, you know, a bit loopy at the moment, trying to articulate that information where you know you need to be sensitive here, but you need to be fair. Trying to know how to articulate that while your own energy centers are going ballistic. It's actually the most adrenaline rushy kind of readings that I've had of late. Like it's been really, really quite, oh, okay, I guess I'm going to say this. Okay, I guess I have to say this. Oh, fuck me, I've got to say this. And at the end, I swear, very recently, I literally turned off the camera and I sat down and I had my head in my hands and I said out loud, my husband was here, and I said out loud, well, I guess I'll just go and fuck myself then. Like, because that was all I had to say. It was just like, Jesus Christ, really? Really?
Well, that's your usual response, like anything that you say. And I'm like, yeah, we already did that. Oh, well, fuck me.
Right. Can we talk about for a second, though, how, I'm going to steal your word, Avalon, how delicious it is when we combine Oracle decks? I freaking love it. Like, I freaking love it. I just had a card fly out of me. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite thing. So I've combined my Gods and Goddesses decks. What else have I combined? What other decks are combinable? What else have I combined?
Anything that's by the same artist generally.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Because then you have continuity, or there are also like, I'm trying to think of like artists that are different but similar enough that you can combine.
I even kind of like combining things that don't look like each other.
Yeah, sometimes
I'm kind of weird like that, though. I like contrasts and opposites and things.
I'm saying if you want continuity.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Same artist.
I have, in the past, I have combined my gods and titans, my goddess and sirens oracle, right? And I found that's very masculine and feminine. And recently I had the nice idea to actually weave a third oracle deck, and I thought it has to be very spirit, and so it has to be very different. And the one that I actually considered, I didn't do it, but I considered it, was the Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti, because that's very ethereal, right? And I measured it. The cards are the same size. The stock is the same. So congratulations if anyone has all three of those, because you can give that a red hot go.
A red hot go.
Get amongst it.
As far as my readings have gone, my decks, like all of my decks, have chosen certain people in my life to read, and they don't want to read anyone else. Like literally, like. And cards are flying out, and I'll be like, wait a minute. And then I'll sit there and I'll be like, oh crap. And like I was playing with I was shuffling and I find this really hilarious. But I was shuffling the Tarot of Dreams, and that deck will only read Chase. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna have to put this away. And then I was like, it's the Tarot of Dreams. That's fucking weird. And I was like, okay, that's creeping me out.
I feel like that makes sense. I feel like that should be my.
I feel like you should have that though.
I know.
That's something.
I don't have that deck. That's really odd that I have never even thought about buying it. Of course, I don't think about buying a lot of decks, so I guess it's not really that unusual. But you would think.
I don't pay for my decks either. Don't worry.
I'm serious. Speak of, it has been like I just sat with, it was me and my RWS, my medicine cards for the last like 10 years of my life. And then friggin' as soon as you guys have been so nice and kind, and now I'm sitting here with 11, 12 decks. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm just like, holy crap, you guys have been real nice. You have like quadrupled my collection in the last 6 months.
It's so funny. That's actually really funny to me. I never say the number of decks that I have. I'm very quiet about that, because there's no need. It's not about the number.
We can just say that you own them all.
It's like sexual partners. You just don't say.
That's right. You own them.
You just say
of every deck.
Number.
You don't have to have a number when you own them all.
Yes, well, my husband would like me to alleviate some of my collection, and to him I say, I will alleviate you before I alleviate my collection.
Dang! Dang. I mean, if you ever get into a moment where you need some money, though, I mean, that's an investment you could sell. And
I know. You know what? This is legit though, because some of you may remember the time where I came across the Fairy Tale Oracle by Lisa Hunt that is still in a box, brand spanking new English edition. And I walked into My Spirit in Brisbane and I looked at it and I'm like, $57 for a Llewellyn deck? That's fucking ridiculous. And I'm like, but I bought it anyway because I'm like, I don't have it. And I walked home, and the whole time it's niggling at me. And I went and typed it in, and fair enough, it was out of print, a long time out of print. And when I looked at the value of it, it was damn near $1,000. Yeah,
oh.
Right? Yeah, oh shit, exactly right. You can still get the German and the French version, I do believe, even the Spanish version, but you can't get the English one, not in mint condition, not wrapped up, right? So you would be absolutely astounded at the number of people that message me on a monthly basis asking if I will sell that deck.
I bet.
Have I opened it and will I sell it? And I'm like, you don't understand collecting.
Wait, I have to address the audience real quick. So Jennifer had the brilliant idea that we should put combined tarot decks, like a list of those on our website. And I'm going to tell you, with all the love in my heart, we have so many projects right now. Please don't make any more work for me. And I'm getting ready to go back to school next week. So
school.
We will keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm so stoked. No.
Well, I'm still rocking Sun and Moon pretty hard at the moment. Love it. Love my moonies. and still getting phenomenal readings. And I've just got to say this. I have a modest collection of decks. Some of those.
What was that word? I'm sorry. What was that? Hold on.
No.
That word. I think you meant. I think that M word you were thinking of was massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Well, potato.
Yeah. Right.
The mega collection.
Yes, and in that, this is where I'm going. Don't get caught up on the details here. This is where I'm going. I have some absolutely amazingly gorgeous decks in there. Look, Journey to Egypt Tarot. Beautiful. Journey, the Barbara Moore one, what is it called? The Hidden Realm. Fucking beautiful, right? You know, there are so many amazingly gorgeous, like Prisma Visions, fucking visually pleasing to no end. And then I get this scrappy little one, Sun and Moon, and it's my soul deck, you know, it's my soul deck. And I wish that my soul deck was something that was, you know, fine art, aka Tarot of Delphi, because it's a beautiful deck. Y'all seen it, right? Tarot of Delphi. Like, oh my god. Even Druidcraft. I use Druidcraft a lot, especially for witch readings, you know. But it's not. It's this really, really simple artwork. It's just artwork.
I love scrappy and simple. That's my favorite kind of decks right there. Those are the ones that I want to work with. I can't work with. If it's too pretty, I can't read with it. Just can't do it.
Oh, you should. Have you ever seen the Journey to Egypt Tarot? It is like, it's like a window into it. You know what? Fuck this. We've got the time. I'm going to show you.
We got nothing but time.
Okay. Here's the box. Here's the box, right? Yeah. And I've got to show you. This is a squarish deck. It's high gloss.
I do know this deck. I do. Yes. Yes. That's exactly the image that popped up into my head. Well, it's the back view. Yeah. Yeah.
Look, I mean.
Yeah. Gorgeous. For sure.
And it's so vivid. Like, it is so freaking vivid that every time you look at one of them, and if you're really into astrology and tarot, this actually has the moon, full moon cycle of Imhotep in there. Nice. If you love your Egypt, and even if you don't, like, I'm not huge into Egyptology, I'm not into all things Egypt. I do not have a sacred space littered with a ton of Egyptian stuff. I think I might have one scarab and a statue of Bast that I received in a moon box recently. I do have an Egyptian tattoo on my body though, so I did go through a phase.
What tattoo? Oh.
It's my super sneaky one. Only my lovers see that one.
Oh, I didn't ask you to show it. I said, what is it? Ugh. I didn't do.
And it would be awkward then if I told you, and then you're like, oh yeah, she's got this super awesome tattoo. I'm like, then they would know. They would know, or they would assume. Have you got your chat up there,
I do.
All right. Do we have any questions? Would anyone like to ask a general question about tarot, a more specific question about...
Yeah, there's one actually addressed to you.
Oh, really?
Yep. Have there been decks that you won't use because it's OOP or have all been used?
What?
Have there been decks that you won't use because it's out of print or have all been used?
No, I won't use the fairy tale. I won't use it. I have a lot of decks. In fact, the entire top row of my bookshelf is all decks that are still wrapped up in their original boxes. I have a copy of the Victorian Romantic first edition that's not open yet. I have the Guild Tarot that's not open. I have, you know what? I've got a lot of out of print decks. Let's go with that.
That's such a foreign concept to me, to have a deck in my possession that I haven't opened. I used my decks, all of them.
All I gotta say,
you would have to be here for about 2 years to use all of mine.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I do get to them. They're not unopened. I probably won't open the fairy tale, to be honest. For me, that's something so different, you know. And Lisa Hunt actually messaged me about that deck because that photo went a little bit viral at that time, and it's going back a couple of years, and I posted it on the Tarot Professionals page, and she messaged me and she said, yes, I probably wouldn't open that one either, which suggests to me that she'll never make another one. And you know, that's quite a collector's item then. You know, I've got plenty of other decks to read with. I don't have to read with that particular deck, so I would open pretty much all of them except for that one. I just haven't gotten around to it.
That just blows my mind.
I know. I did get the Arthurian Tarot thoughtfully gifted to me the other day. There's actually a story behind this one.
Lisa is feeling in her pants right now.
Hey? I had this beautiful tarot deck years ago, right? It's been in my collection for ages. The person that gave it to me, how can I put this? It's a downright skanky hoe. And so I decided that I didn't want that energy attached to a deck or even the memory of a deck. And so I gifted it away. You know, I didn't want it in my possession. There's bad blood, like bad blood. And that's it. That's it, right? And then because I gifted it away, I kind of grew up a little bit after that, because this is going back many years now. And I'm like, oh, I wished I still had a copy of that. I wish that things hadn't gone down that way. I still felt very good in having gifted it away, because I don't want items like that in my possession that hold the memory of something that is quite negative. I don't want that in my life. So I don't regret giving it away, but I do regret letting that copy go, you know. At the same time, I really wanted it. Anyway, somebody posted recently and I'm like, I gave that away years ago, and I'm still a bit sensitive about it. And then somebody gifted it to me. Somebody really lovely gifted it to me. I didn't even know it was coming, and I opened it up, and I've got to say, it was quite emotional. I was just like, that's a good one.
Okay, well,
it's got Matthews, by the way.
All I have to say is that if I come visit you, I'm coming with a 3-ring binder and some tabs and some label makers, and I'm gonna catalog all that shit, because it's gonna drive me nuts when you're like, oh, I don't know, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, oh, we're gonna know.
My husband says you need to count them all, and I'm like, do you though? Do you? What's a number? I mean, what's a number?
What is a number?
I know, numbers these days.
I'll have them in alphabetical order or by author or artist. I'll have them fucking color coded like you don't even know Virgo organizational skill.
Have at it. Have at it. I'm always looking for different ways to arrange it.
I'll be like, no, that's in the blue section. What are you doing?
We have another question.
Okay, what is it?
How do you shuffle cards to keep or encourage natural occurring reversals?
You know what? You don't have to shuffle them any particular way. I think that if you're constantly using one deck and you use it, you shuffle, 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 put it away, pick it up, shuffle, 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 put it away, pick it up, naturally cards will end up being reversed. If you like lay out 3 cards, then put them down, and then, you know, by the natural movement and continuous use, you'll have natural reversals. But if you want to use reversals, then I would suggest like interlacing them at an even number, and then shuffling and reversing, shuffling and reversing, shuffling and reversing. Like there's an art to it. There is. Sun and moon always wants to be reversed. Like no matter what I do, for instance, I use it a lot, right? So I'll shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. I'll pull 3 cards, I'll lay those 3 cards on top for a while. Then I'll flip them over, and then I'll put them in a bag. I'll take them away with me, and somehow in the bag it gets a little bit, you know, skew-ifs, and so I'll correct it up and, you know, do what I need to do. And no matter how many times I try to write all the cards, it's still got reversals in it because it wants to be read with reversals. So my deck will tell you what it wants to do. If your deck never seems to have a reverse card, then respect that, you know. I like reading with reversals, though. How about you guys? Do you guys like reading with reversals?
No, I tell my deck, you give me a reversal, I'm throwing you out. So,
So angsty.
I don't like.
Starting to sound like you're starting to sound like somebody with the last name starts with V, ends with hurt you.
Oh, you can suck it. Suck it. Suck it. You will take that back now or later. Take a choice. Now or later.
Hey, that's a good candy.
Thank you for changing the subject. No, I just don't. I don't read with reversals. But let it be known now that I say that now, and then a year from now, when I'm still on YouTube making videos, a year from now, I'm like, I love reversals. Just go with it.
Show you this video. That's what I'm
right. Just go with it.
Remember when? Right now.
Because it changed. Like, I'm sure it will change. How the videos that I made 6 months ago when I first started, I look back on those and I'm like, well, that's not true anymore. That's not true anymore either. That's not true anymore either. So it changes. But right now, yeah, no, I don't. I hate them. I loathe them. Don't.
I love them.
Yeah, and if you don't if you're not well versed in reversals, one thing I read. What? Okay. Stop being demonic.
I am fully capable. Like we witnessed last week, right? At our Card Slinger's Paradise. I can read them. I can, I study. I spend just as much time reading reversals as I do studying them, because I do want to, I'd like to be up to snuff on my craft, but I just don't.
Well, if you're gonna start with reversals and you have no earthly clue, how to read them or whatever, I highly recommend Tarot of Revelations. I think it is a brilliant deck to start with reversals because it has both imagery, is both symbolic meanings on the cards. So no matter which way they land, it looks like what it's supposed to feel like if it's reversed or straightforward.
Yeah, it's a good one. It is a good one. It also depends too on. I mean, that's a great learning deck. That's the training wheels of reversals, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to look into it very deeper, like what will a reversal mean to you? Is it an exacerbated energy? Is it a blocked energy? Does that information depend on the surrounding cards? For me, the answer to all those questions is yes. There's a complexity. There's just a delicious complexity to reversals. When I see one in the mix, I'm like, challenge accepted. And it's always so awesome. And that's when you do get your nitty gritty, right? Oh,
I can get plenty of nitty gritty without that. All my readings are real nitty gritty without it. I think for me, honestly, I'm going to give everybody in this, how many people are chatting with us right now? I'm going to give you 34. I'm going to give you some, and then you guys make 36. So I'm about to give you guys some realness, okay? Judge me about this or not. I don't care. But I think for me, it is, I'm about to let you delve into my brain. It's a control issue. Like, it is I'm giving you realness.
That is what it is.
It is a control issue because I don't know when the reverse is going to pop up, and I need to have as much control over my reading as humanly possible because I want it to be as in an orderly fashion that I can possibly have when I'm reading for a client. I have to have it. I have to have the order, and I have to have the ability to know that all the cards are going to be right side up and that everything is going to go the way it's supposed to, and they're going to stand up like little soldiers and just be front-faced and pretty, and yes, I need that.
Okay, I'm going to need you to take a breath.
I did. I'm breathing.
That's a Virgo rising thing. A lot of it, for sure.
Ugh, I need it. Like, I just have to have it. I have to.
But at the same time, like I'm sitting over here with double Virgo rising, Virgo sun, and that's like the one place that I don't need control.
Oh, I
need to access my Pisces moon.
It's about work. Like my work life is, it doesn't matter which job we're talking about, whether we're talking about my training job or my reading job, there is order and there is structure and there is, because I want to be seen as a professional. So my professional life is extremely important to me. Extremely important to me.
Virgo rising. Just saying.
Whatever it is, it's just.
All of the things that I seem to want to say are very crude, and I can't bring myself to say them because my dad will one day watch this, no doubt. But I will say this. Everything was to come out naughty.
Oh God.
Oh, where is this going?
It went left. That's
like,
where
it's like to read reversals is like owning your space to that. No, that's not gonna do it.
You can't even do. Okay,
Wow.
Pass.
Okay, this is what I was gonna say. Please don't judge me. Please don't judge me, or do. I don't give a fuck. But it's the best. It's the best example. It's like it's. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna say this on camera.
An orgasm. Like, why would you do?
It's like full penetration as opposed to half penetration.
What?
Yeah, you're just halfway there, buddy.
What?
Like
no,
just
it's Kama Sutra material, right? It's like going deep, is what
I can fully penetrate with some right side up cards just fine. Promise. Promise. Promise.
That's safety tarot. That's safety tarot. That's I'm here. I'm your lover. I have my condom on. We can do it. I can predict it. And then there's the reversals where it's just like.
No, there is none of that. There is none of that. There is none of that.
I'm so sorry to every viewer, but I said penetration. I'm so sorry.
There is nothing wrong with a little
penetration. I'm for a little bit now, and you're gonna have to change it.
Wow.
Oh, this is like the first time that we live casted, and she had been doing spirit work, and she couldn't bring it down. Oh God!
Wow.
Okay, so we've covered reversals and full penetration.
It's been discussed. It has been discussed. Wow. It went there. It went
I'm just reading the comments. And Anna goes, I left for a bit and I came back to penetration.
Oh, I cannot breathe. I cannot breathe.
I'm grounded, but I literally have tears running down my face.
I can't handle being surrounded by women all the time. I need some testosterone rescue. God.
Avalon, no. Just mute your mic. Just mute the mic.
He does it.
I'm still watching the rerun to see who got penetrated.
Oh my God, you just snorted. Oh God.
Why does it always go to places? Why? I'm sweating so much right now.
Because we are three sick bastards, that's why.
Got a little sweat coming out of me right now.
We're channeling life right now, folks. We're channeling joy, abundance,
and penetration,
sincerity, openness, awesomeness. We're channeling life right now.
I so had a good comeback when he said, I'm sweating a little. Oh God, I can't breathe. Okay.
This is why we have guests on our show. This is why.
We can't behave without adult super.
We cannot be left alone. We cannot.
Our mommies right now say we can't play together anymore.
Oh, good Lord. Blame it on the eclipse. No, I wish I could, but this is kind of how we are.
Right? Unfortunately, this is it. Ta-da!
It's unfiltered.
I wish I could say this is unusual, but it's not.
No, it's Spread the Switches, and we're not wearing any pants.
Hey, I wear pants
today because you caught him last time.
Sure did. I made sure today when I got home, I had time to put on pants because I got called out last week. Rude. Rude.
Oh, I wondered why you looked so dressed up.
And they're not leggings, right?
No, they are shorts. I'm wearing shorts. Can I get my leg high enough? They're shorts. I'm wearing shorts.
Can you get your leg higher? I'm actually wearing jeans today for my I can't there's my jeans.
I didn't know this was what the fuck is happening?
We're not undressed here. We're not undressed. We always guessed, and most often than not, Chase legitimately is undressed. But the majority of us,
yes.
It's daytime. If someone were to wander to my house, which often happens.
Okay, so sorry. Okay, so I just have to specify because now the chat is running wild with the fact that they think I don't wear any clothes. So what I was talking about earlier. I don't. Oh, actually, I don't really. But anyway, so I said earlier that I had to come home and have enough time to put on pants. It's not that I wasn't wearing any. It's that I come from the gym where I'm extremely sweaty, and so I had to come home and change. I'm not naked out in public. I just have to put on dry clothes.
Okay, that's all it is.
That's all it is.
Where's ALLORAH'S pants? Oh shit, they're right here. I don't know if you can see them. I'm on shorts. Everybody,
Oh.
I'm always dressed.
Okay. I am only dressed when I have to be.
I'm right there with Chase on that one.
That's why I can't.
Okay, I'm always dressed when we do this because there are times I have to turn the camera down onto my little desk here while I'm doing things, and I don't think that the people want to see a crotch shot. That's illegal.
Everything that wants to come out of my mouth is naughty.
I love that you cannot control yourself at all today. Not at all.
Okay.
It's the eclipse, I'm telling you.
Blame on the eclipse.
Not the damn eclipse.
Damn eclipse. Ugh.
Okay, do you guys have any questions for us? Go ahead, ask away. Because apparently we're talking about penetration and everything else.
Nothing is off limits, I guess.
Well, wait. Let's not say that. She's still turning red.
She is. She's trying so hard to control herself. She's trying so hard.
Said, I'm not wearing a bra. I fucking hate bras. Amen, sister.
Who needs bras?
Save positions? What?
I'm sorry, what are we talking about? Are we talking about tarot card positions? Because we already covered that with upright. All upright.
Oh my God. What are you all drinking? Coca-Cola.
Water. And actually, I'm empty. I have no more water. Sad day.
Tea and water, I swear.
It's the doggy style spread.
Where is this going? What is happening?
All right, so nobody say anything. I'm grounding. Don't.
All you have to do is look at her today.
I don't understand.
I hear you, Jim. I'll bum you a virtual cig. As a matter of fact, I'm probably gonna smoke right now because this is getting a little uncomfortable.
What you do when you're finished? All right, I think that we could get to the card slinging portion of this event.
Yes.
Let's just get back on track, shall we?
Yeah.
What I might do is get myself some capsicum and some carrot and just walk and ground from the kitchen back.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I get back, I should be a much more grown-up person than I am now. But I'm just going to say
Grown up is overrated.
the odds of that happening are very slim. I'm simply predicting a much more presentable.
All right, take 5. Everybody pee, get something to drink, all that, and we'll come back and we'll sling cards.
I will entertain the masses while you guys are gone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Chase channel for a little bit. How are you guys? I'm just literally sitting over here endlessly shuffling my deck. Oh, we got some things. Got some things happening right now. So I hope everybody is surviving the eclipse. I don't need a food break. No, I ate before. I ate before. I had some tacos. Gotta have some tacos. Oh yeah, tacos. Tacos. What deck am I shuffling? What deck should I be shuffling? None other than. Am I going to have some fun with that delicious friend of mine? Ooh. I'll start copying and pasting some things. Yes, I love me some tacos. Love me some tacos. I could eat it every day. I made this batch of tacos that I made were actually leftovers from yesterday. They were tequila lime chicken tacos. We need whiskey. Too many crazy girls. Just kidding. Love you all. Yes. Shot of whiskey never hurt nobody. Shot of whiskey never hurt nobody. Thank you all for cheering me up. I've been crying for 2 days. That's what we're here for. Sorry that life is going kind of crazy. Chicken or beef? Chicken. Chicken. Better yet, whiskey and girls? Yes! Wild Moon Woman. She knows me. She just knows me. Ah, Lisa, you hate whiskey? Why? It's so delicious. Whiskey's the best. Whiskey is the best. Good whiskey. Bad whiskey is not the best. Good whiskey is the best. So good. Key lime taco pie? Hey, I'm all down for that. I'd try it. I would. All right, Anna, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. We always love having you in. We're big fans of yours. Enjoy your nights. I like Japanese whiskey. I love all whiskey. I love strong alcohol. Yes. Cooking videos from Chase. You know what? Actually, that's funny. Little and Fad that you said that. So I have been planning a series on my channel, and nobody go out and steal this idea. Nobody steal it. I was going to combine my my chefing with tarot, and I was going to actually do like an episode a month where I cooked like a meal and talked about all the herbs and the intention setting with them as I use them, and whatever I use to cook with. Like if you use garlic, we talk about how it, you know, banishes bad energy, blah, 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 blah. I was thinking about doing it. I was pondering it. Two vowels. Oh my God. If we three double airs got in the same room, it'd either be amazing or just go off the rails. I think off the rails. Go off the rails. I'm so late. Hello, Elena Morton. Hello, hello. You are just on time. You are just fine. Cooking with tarot. Yes.
Cooking with tarot.
Yes. That would be awesome. Do it. Sounds great. Do it. I like the idea. Well, then, looks like, Allora, I got myself a new idea for my channel. The cooking thing that I was talking about, where I cooked and talked about all the herbs and yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna do it with tarot?
I'm sure
that would
I could.
be very cool, because you could be like, okay, today is the Fool, and we are going to try something we've never tried before. And then
I could do it.
The magician, and you could synthesize all kinds of stuff together that doesn't go together. You could
but yeah, it does.
Right. High Priestess, intuit that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Yes, he is. Yes, I am. What would the food eat? Potluck? Yeah, probably. Make sure you cook. Make sure you put your pants on. Yes, I have to dress completely up and down for that one. I would.
Folks, if you're live with us right now, and there's 31 of you, please give this little video a thumbs up, like, share it around.
Yes, please.
We very much appreciate it. We're not saying it from a point of, I want to be popular. We're saying from a point of community orientation. So if you like us and you've had fun with us so far and you just like to hang out with us on a general, then give that little thumbs up button a little bit of a hit and share this around. And we will very much appreciate it. We love you.
Indeed. And give us some comments, man. Like as Avalon was saying, we love the thumbs up. That shows support. But what shows more support is your comments and your feedback and we love chatting with you guys. We love it. So leave some comments so we can continue the conversation and really get to know you guys and converse. We still love you guys outside of this show. We would love to talk to you and hear from you. So leave some comments.
God, I hope I can read today.
Me too, because I am falling flat.
So I'm gonna use the good old NEE New Era.
But yours looks so precious and new. Mine is so ruined.
But I'm also gonna use this was gifted to me. It's brand new to me. I love it. It's called the Samadhi Oracle. It's very Hindu based. Hold on. Show you the cards. It's awesome. Look at this. Oh. Check it out.
Oh, good.
That's so nice.
Right? Like they're just.
I'm just gonna say, oh,
the world turtle.
Oh, that's very Terry Pratchett.
This is very awesome, is what this is. Here's your peacock.
Booyah. Oh, I like it. I like it. Me likes it.
That's my. Chase is over there like, oh shit. Your sacred snake. I don't know.
I love it.
Vibrant.
Have you guys seen the I don't know if this is the name of it. The Antique Botanical Tarot, and they've also got the Antique Botanical Oracle. I'm not sure if that's the name of it or the Vintage Plant. Basically, it's so gorgeous. I must have it. I want to say that the creator's name is Ophelia or something along those lines. Help me out here, folks. Help me out. I've had to brush it from my mind because it literally will cost me 150 Australian dollars to get it out here. So I have to brush it from my mind. But I oftentimes stumble across it again. Oh my God, my heart yearns for that deck.
So, well, question.
If Shakespeare were erotica, that is what Avalon is channeling to.
Right? If Shakespeare was erotica, how much is too much for a tarot deck? How much will you not spend?
Ooh.
It really depends.
On.
For me, okay. For me, the hindrance is not so much the price of the tarot deck, because I consider a tarot deck to be quite priceless. If I really resonate with the art, then I'm technically buying through that lens of art. And so for that, I would spend whatever I had to spend at the time. You know, if it was $1,000 and I had $1,000 in my bank account, I wouldn't have any qualms spending $1,000 on a tarot deck. The thing that fucks me off the most is the postage. The postage from country to country is something that I have to deal with a lot, because I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the vast majority of tarot decks are printed in the United States. So you guys in the States, you're sorted. But I always hear qualms with a Barber Studio deck or with an Australian-based deck, because I know that Blue Angel is quite big and popular, and so people have to import that, have to pay that tax on top of it, you know. And the postage is an actual bitch, and it is not something that people can control. It's just out of your head. So it comes down to, that's the one thing that really halts my purchases, is the cost of shipping, and of course the exchange rates from country to country. So they're things that I have to think about, because it might be listed, for example, in the United States, it might be listed as $80 US, and that will cost me almost $100, and then on top of that will be the postage and handling. So it creates a very hefty toll. And I probably wouldn't spend $1,000 on a deck, you know. I mean, no, I hold to that. I'll hold to that, because it very much depends. If I could get my hands on an original Rider-Waite-Smith, original,
yeah,
$1,000.
Yeah, that would probably be the only way that I would drop $1,000. Yeah, I would have to drop. I love those, you know, traditional origins. Oh, man, I would die for it. I'd die for it.
I'm telling you. And I got quite a vintage copy of the Rider-Waite-Smith at a bookstore recently, in the last couple of months. That made me feel really good, because I didn't have to spend that big money. That's the one thing that I love about Australia, is that they don't realize that tarot is an actual thing, and that most secondhand bookstores and charity stores have no idea what they've got on their shelves, and I capitalize on that and feel no shame. So
yeah. True that.
So what are we doing? Who are we reading for?
I believe our first question is, am I going to have some fun with that delicious friend of mine?
I want that one. I want that question.
Get it. Get it.
Who asked that? Oh, that was Dulcie. Am I going to have some fun? Mm-hmm. How's this for irony? Most people know that my last name is Cameron. Most people know that there's a Decameron tarot out there.
Uh-huh.
I don't own it.
Maybe you should buy it.
Maybe I should. It just popped into my head right then. I'm like, how good would that be right now for this question?
Right?
Nothing like a little attuned deck.
So many questions. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Oh no, Dulcie. 9 of Swords. It's gonna be a freaking nightmare. I mean, you might have some fun with it, but it's gonna end up being a freaking nightmare. Like, legit. See what this is what I'm talking about? The things that you don't want to say to people.
Right?
Stage 5
Perfect
clinger.
example.
Stage 5 clinger.
Stage 5. That's it. You need your wingman. What? You need your wingman to swoop in hard on this, like all the air reference, and like just it might be a case of like, you know, just escape, evade. What's another E word that requires retreat? Excuse yourself.
Right.
Swerve.
That was the 9 of Swords. Freaking nightmare.
Okay, what's...
I get a big old fat nose. Oh, right? Yikes.
Run for the hills.
Yikes, run away. Run away. Yeah, that is no.
Maybe an oracle for that one.
Right?
Should I call an oracle?
Yeah.
Yikes, yikes.
You need to ground yourself. That's what that says. Come back to reality.
Right?
Yeah, so do some hardcore grounding and then reassess the situation and see if that's a mess that you want to get into.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, questions, Master Chase.
That's you. That is all you. You got that title. You earned it.
What? This is bullshit.
Bollocks.
Okay, wait. I don't know where we are.
Sherry Bug. Question for the cards. I started a new job a couple months ago. Can I trust the new alliances that I have made at work? Or are they going to be too unstable? That's a good question. I like that. It's interesting. It's got, you know, dimension. Every question's a good question, let's face it. There are some that are just like, interesting.
Yes, yes.
And some people ask questions that I didn't even know that I wanted to know the answer to, and all of a sudden, like, I'm intrigued. It's like soap opera questions. I've been getting a lot of soap opera questions.
I love me a good soap opera question.
Oh, it's fabulous. Soap opera questions, yes.
Not gonna lie, I enjoy those immensely. I be very honest, I just love questions that are very like open. Like, what is my life? They'll be like, stop there, period. Let's start with that. They're like, but there's more to that. I'm like, no. We'll just start with that. Let's just be very broad. See what comes up.
Whereas I will literally dissect someone until I get to that little nervy center. And I'm like, okay, so, do you mean this or do you mean that? We've got it. They come, should I take this job? And at the very core of that is, why doesn't my mother love me? And
see, all that will come out as I'm flipping cards. We start at a place and then we'll get to where we need to go. We will navigate. We will navigate. Like the tarot is like a stick shift.
All right, well, I'm the first to pull then.
Sure are.
I got the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a very enigmatic character. She's wonderfully ostentatious, I like to think, you know, holds a space beautifully, quite creative, quite, you know, hands-on. You feel her energy. She's the type of person that, you know, fills a room with her just sheer sense of awesomeness, right? So being that this is in relation to the alliances that you're making at work and you want to know if you can trust them, I think that in order for you to genuinely place yourself in that position of trust, that you need to step into the archetype of the Queen of Wands and hold space. That does mean be friendly. It does mean be amicable with others. It does mean asserting some boundaries from time to time. It means being very active and very bold in those circles, but essentially holding space as hard and as full on as you can to make sure that if there is a little issue, if things do get a little bit unstable, that you've got to be that driving force to recalibrate and just, you know, it doesn't need to be something that you're so super full on about, but you do need to be very present for it and make yourself very even tempered as well, so that
that's so funny that you say that.
Oh, stop there, because I honestly got my next card.
Yeah, because I drew Temperance. And so definitely, like Avalon was saying, stay even tempered. I think this also means when you're asking if you can trust the alliances that you've made, you need to really stop and think about them individually and use a little bit of moderation and analytical skill here, and also intuition, and really feel them out one by one. And Temperance can also be used for, Avalon mentioned, recalibrating and switching a situation that might get sticky. And this also speaks to that. This is not something you can bulldoze over. It's not something that you can essentially force to happen. So just treat it with patience and moderation. All right, what's your card?
All right, so I'm going to show you this Ace of Cups. So let's go back to the beginning. So I'm really, not that I'm ever not stuck on it, but I'm really extra stuck on Kabbalah right now as far as tarot. And so let's talk about one, the Kether. So let's talk about what it is and what it means. So we're talking about laying down a seed. This is before any energy is being put into your question, into your intention. And so you said you started a new job, and let's talk about cups being emotions. Is it going to be emotionally stable for you right now? Absolutely. And I think, you know, we're talking about that beautiful Temperance card. He's covered in water, and covered in water. He's not covered in water. He's standing in water. You know what I meant? Anyway, keep on going. And so, you know, dealing with a lot of water, dealing with a lot of emotions, and I think it will be incredibly emotionally stable for you. It is going to be, as far as the relationships goes, to be really specific about the question, yeah, I absolutely think so. You know, you're setting up a seed right now to be super, super fruitful, and I'm very excited for you.
Yay!
That was a good one. That was a good one. Where are we up to?
Ancient Blessings 9.
Okay. What should I keep in mind while starting my new teaching position? Ooh.
Ooh.
Wait, what is this? What? I was reading the
What should
chat.
I keep in mind while starting my new teaching position?
Got it. Got it.
Oh God! Imagine if that was a cigar. That would be so boss. A Cuban, hand rolled in the thigh of the Virgin. Legit Cuban.
Legit Cuban.
What is she on today?
What are you on today? You are on, whatever it is you are on fire.
It was the cougar statement at the beginning. Like, it injected me with the totem energy, you know? What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? So we're talking about what should I keep in mind while starting my new teaching position? What should I keep in mind? My new teaching position. What? Okay, that one loud and heard. Loud and heard.
Feel like I'm in a kitchen. Heard.
I guess I start. No.
How many did you? How many fell on the floor?
Just one.
Oh, okay, go.
Ugh. Okay, so so what I have is the Page of Wands, and here's where I'm going to fall flat a little bit, just because I'm in that flat state. So I'm more talking out loud for myself. So to get me started, let's talk about the Page is a transition. So we're talking a transition of action. We're talking of Wands. So I think this card is just literally stating that you're changing from one, you know, position to another. I don't think my card is super clear about the outcome of that. It's just stating your question. It's kind of fiery, and it's God, help me out here. I'm drowning. I'm drowning. I'm drowning.
You're not drowning. You're not drowning, honey. You're doing the right thing. Because I happen to like, I resonate with what you're saying too, because, you know, when I see the court, especially the pages, I see that there has been the end of a cycle from Ace through to 10, right? So from seed through to actualization. And that generally closes something off. And if you're familiar with the 10 of fucking Wands, like, you want that burdened card to be shifted, right? So we can look at the card that comes before and know that there's been a shifting of a burden and the uprising to, you know, the next stage. So you're at the very plateau, the very beginning, next stage, switching up the gears, exactly what he was saying. And I'm going to wedge myself in there next, because what he's saying, very relevant. I got the 3 of Pentacles, and this is all about establishing a work routine and establishing a foundation for what you're doing next. So you're coming at it with the personified fire element and the attitude, the enthusiastic attitude of the young page. I love the enthusiasm of the pages. And the Three of Pentacles, and that's all about laying down a foundation of work. So showing early what you've got, and you know, and making sure that you have attention to detail, that you're being resourceful in that capacity, that you're showing people how, you know, how committed you are to the process, that you're taking your time, that you're being very careful as you construct your new routines. That's one thing I love about the Pentacles. It's resources and routines. Like, we Earth signs, we love resources and routine. Like, I like a good routine. So, you know, it's getting in that new rhythm very early on in the piece and making sure that it's a solid rhythm that is going to assist you to really grow from that point upwards. So make sure that you are very bold and strategic when you're making your decisions to start this new routine up.
Okay, and on that note, the card that came out for me is Justice, represented by the scales. And I would say, with the new teaching position, keep in mind that it is a bureaucracy, and there's a lot of paperwork, and you have to sign a lot of forms, and you have to read the fine print, and you have to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed, and all of that good stuff. Report cards, grading papers, teacher-parent conferences, things like that. So just make sure that all of your paperwork is in order, and kind of stay on top of it, because you know, if you don't stay on top of it, you'll get behind, and then that will affect your enthusiasm and all of that. Because right now you're in the page stage of a new job, and so you don't want to burn yourself out or dim your light or your love for teaching. So just make sure that you're doing all of the proper paperwork and administrative stuff as well.
Awesome.
All right. Who's next?
Song of the Winds next. So, Song of the Winds question is as follows. What do I need to know about my exit interview tomorrow? Interesting. Exit interview. Chase has got one.
So all of my cards are being super cheeky right now. And
I want you to reverse them.
Stop. You will not.
Do it.
Like soldiers. So so I have literally like the exit interview card. So this is the Seven of Wands. And so we see in this card there is a guy that is, I mean, we could see this as being you, and this could be whoever is giving your exit interview, right? So this is a very set up kind of a thing, and maybe it is going to feel a little bit defensive for you, but just know that the outcome is going to be good, and it is going to be victorious. This is one of those cards too that I laugh at really hard, because I'm about to use that meaning of the card that I make fun of all the time. This is a victory card. There is some trial with it, but just know the setup is going to be you're going to feel defensive a little bit, like maybe they already have somebody in mind to take your place, or you know, something like that. But you can't take it like that, because it will end well, promise.
Awesome. The Queen of Wands is back again. She's got a lot to say today. I'm not surprised though. Queen of Fire. Like, really? The Queen of Fire is just acclimated to her situation. So holding your ground, absolutely. Victory, absolutely. And then some freaking hardcore celebration with buddies. Maybe get amongst a tiger or a leopard there. Whatever that translates for you. But it's a really, really great card of self-actualizing. So it's, you know, rising in your power. So with victory comes that sensation, that awesome sensation. We all know it, you know, when we've won something, when we've got it, when we've done something of achievement, we just rise in our power. And that's really what I'm seeing in this card right now. So whatever it is, rising in your power.
And then I drew the Two of Pentacles. And basically this is about this shift in resources, mainly materialistically, when it comes to physical job, money, where you're spending your time, things like that. And it's just significant of the fact that there's a change about to happen, and you have to mind your resources and use them wisely and appropriately, and not overspend, or not, you know, basically just make sure you're budgeting your resources. That's the main point. Okay, I'm done.
Excellent. Excellent.
Why is he counting? Oh, I'm like, why are you counting? It looks like you're counting. You're like,
Oh no, I was not counting. I was having a conversation with the sweet Elise.
Ah.
Me too.
Me three.
Well, that's rude.
That is not rude.
That is rude.
It is not rude.
Mine.
Sharing is caring.
Thank you. We're siblings, damn it.
Rosemary next. Faces. Rosemary.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Okay.
Oh my God. Stop it with your bad self. Right. Focus. Rosemary, what should I be paying attention to right now in my relationship with my boyfriend?
Soap opera question.
Soap opera question. Oh, that's what you just said.
I like it.
Ooh.
I swear to God, I can't make this shit up. I just can't. I can't make this shit up.
I love you. I don't know what else to say.
Do you guys see this? Like, my deck right now is just having a good old chuckle. A good old chuckle. My deck thinks it is so funny right now. So I have the Two of friggin' Cups, which is the love relationship card. So this card is telling me to focus on you guys. Don't let external things get in the way of you right now. You're in a crucial part of your relationship right now that is, and I have no idea how you guys have been together or anything like that, but it is a crucial part in your relationship right now that is determining how you carry yourselves now, and the attachments that you make with each other now are going to solidify what is going to happen to you in the future, whether that means that you guys are committed to each other or whether you guys, fall apart for whatever reasons. And so, again, I go back to don't let external influences, not forces, like I'm on Star Wars or something. External influences, don't let that affect you right now. Focus on each other, and you really have to start asking yourself those important questions. It's going to be the questions of, can I see myself waking up next to him a year from now when he's, snoring loudly and annoying the shit out of me? Is this going to be, am I going to love him for his faults? And he's got to ask himself those same questions too. Am I going to love her for her faults, when she nags me, when she wants me to do something I don't want to do? This is the time that you focus on those kinds of things.
I love that you said that shit, because that's so real. That is so real.
Isn't it? It is. It so is. But yeah, so the biggest message I have out of that is get together and really figure out whether you're going to love each other for your faults. And if you can answer yes to that, then keep on trucking.
I got the 9 of Cups, which is a very sweet card. It's a very sweet card. There's such an enduring emotional happiness to the 9 of Cups, but I think it very much rests on what Chase was just saying. It's getting that nitty-gritty familiarity down pat. They say, and I can't remember where I read this, or heard this. It takes around 5 years to genuinely know a person. That's what they say, right? To know them in their ups and their downs, their quirks, and and especially when we're in love, in the early stages of love, the rose-colored glasses are on. Despite what you think you know, despite all of the variances, the rose-colored glasses are on because you're seeing through this lens of love, and it's pure and it's beautiful. But when that starts to fade away, you start to see the up-close nitty-gritty of what that person is all about. And sometimes that can be the breaking point. You know, you don't want to go any further when that happens. That's why I think the statistics on relationships is around that 1.5 year mark. You know, generally you can say, oh, I was with that person for 1.5 years. It's that's a short-term relationship for me these days, the concept of 1.5 years. But I think that happiness, that enduring happiness, comes when you relinquish control of what you think that things should be, the timing that things should have, the progression that things need to go at, particularly in relationships, because timelines and, you know, futures and all of that sort of stuff is very, very big. And be very mindful in enjoying each other's company now. Look for the beautiful moments in the now. Respect each other in the now. Get to know each other in the now. Celebrate who you are as a couple in the now. And then just love yourselves as completely as you can until what you have to offer one another is no longer acceptable, and then you have to recalibrate. So try to be very, very mindful about it. Don't look for future happiness or past happiness. Don't look left and right. Don't look into the ancient past for what hasn't worked for you anymore. It's all about the now. Accept the person as they are and get to know them slowly and accept their values until you can't accept them anymore. So.
Okay. And so the card that came out for me was judgment, literally. So a couple ways this reads. First of all, the two of you together, the first word that came into my head when this card came out was karma, karmic relationship. So you guys have met to learn lessons from one another. And with what Chase and Avalon have already said, you know, with the rose colored glasses coming off and getting into the nitty gritty and all of that, this is also talking about how right now you guys are looking at each other under a microscope. I think, especially like, I don't know why in particularly this resonates with that. Maybe it's because of the broken glass here, but you know, that mirror was perfect at some point and now it is shattered. And it doesn't mean that anything bad has happened. It just means that, okay, what was once perfect, now you see all the flaws, and now you have to decide, do you want to keep this mirror, or do you want to chuck it and get a new one, or what do you want to do? But I definitely think that your relationship with your boyfriend is karmic in nature, and that you guys have learned a lot from one another. And right now you just need to basically pick apart all the little things and figure it out. All righty, who's next?
All right. Next we have Matthew Alvarez. Hi, Matthew Alvarez. And his question is as follows. What did the eclipse bring to me and my personal development? Whoops. Interesting. My sun and moon tarot is really funny. It's got a great sense of humor.
I love this friggin' oracle deck.
So does my deck right now. I'm not even gonna read this card.
Change decks. Just change decks.
That's ridiculous.
It's so stupid. That's so dumb.
Like there was an eclipse.
Right. That's like all my cards are like from the beginning. The card was like, yes, you got a new job. Yes, you're having an exit interview. Yes, there was an eclipse. Like, shut your mouth.
Get the fuck
Either
real.
your deck is being ironic or it's being clueless. One or the other.
Ridiculous. Like, I don't understand.
Right now I see like a scene out of Clueless, like piggy tails, knee highs, someone twirling like that piggy tail going, eclipse? Like really?
Like, what's an eclipse? What's that?
Oh, it's getting nicknamed. Your deck is going to get a nickname soon.
Right. You need to stop that because it's not going to be a good nickname. I need you to pluck the fuck up, bro. No, I will not.
I think in this season of retrogrades, a little foray into reversals might be just the medicine that your clueless little deck needs right now.
No, I'm going to go with this.
If you're watching and listening and you think that I'm right, type the words yes in the comments.
Ridiculous.
Let's see how this goes.
What?
So this was actually the card that was next to the moon card when I drew it, and it came flying out of the deck for me, so I'll use this one.
You mean the sun card?
What?
The sun card? Moon card. What?
Did I say sun? I meant moon.
No, you. What?
No, this was, I drew this card, or this card popped out of me. This was the card that was next to the moon card when I drew it, when my deck was being sassy. And so then I shuffled, and this is the card that popped out of me, was the card that was sitting next to the moon card. Do I make sense? Am I making sense yet? Am I just rambling? No? No sense? Cool. Awesome. Well, this is my card, the Hanged Man. So, I can't even remember. Eclipse, right. Okay, so the Hanged Man. Well, that's pretty forwardly mentioned. What did the Eclipse bring to me in my personal development? So this is a card of new perspectives. This is telling you there is a chance to achieve a new perspective. This isn't necessarily saying that the eclipse happened and all of a sudden you were enlightened. This is telling you the potential to get that new perspective is there, and it is ready for you. Open up your senses and you will find it.
All right, my turn.
Okay.
Okay, so out of the oracle came Shiva, who represents transformation. In Hinduism, Shiva is literally destruction through transformation. And he is also limitless and has, and is exponential potential, if you will. So with the Hanged Man that Chase just read to you, I would say that there is a transformation that is going to take place that's going to allow you to shift perspectives on things. And it's going to destroy some of the beliefs that you have held on to and hang on to. And new ones are going to come about, but you're going to have to let the old ones go, though. But because if you don't, this is going to be painful. If you do, this will be as painless as it possibly can be, but it's still transformation. So there's going to be some growing pains.
Everything that you were saying, because I've got the 8 of Swords. Okay. Oh, such a good one. So basically, the restrictions that you've been feeling up until this point are basically all in your mind. You're holding yourself accountable for things, to deadlines, to worry, to situations, and it's literally creating that sense of isolation, that sense of spiritual, mental isolation. And so as the eclipse moves and shifts, and that it brings to the forefront those intricacies of your internal monologue right now. And and throwing that into sharp relief makes you self-aware, makes you understand that you're very much in control of the situation and you have a choice to make. You can let go of that behavior and step forward into your power, or you can retain it and try and move all that worry, that pain, that discomfort, that mental anxiety, whatever it is that's floating around in the ethers of your beautiful minds forward. In which case it's not going to be successful because you're bringing forward baggage, and nobody wants baggage. Nobody wants baggage in a new experience. So, cut the cord with what is no longer working for you. Understand, of course, that we are all, each individual person on this planet is facing their own inner workings, their own inner monologues, their own inner demons. And it's consciously and regularly going over those phases in our life that we move forward, we detach and then move forward, we detach again and move forward. That's evolution. It can be somewhat painful, it can be emotionally jarring, it can be mentally confusing, but it's progress. So get prepared to let go of that shit that's no longer working and move forward without that baggage.
Yay! I want to read the next one because it's by Natalie and she cracks me up. Her question is, what do I need to focus on right now? Because fuck if I don't feel lost.
It's my favorite word in the world.
I know. It expresses every emotion in the
Yep.
human experience.
I often get told that I have a potty mouth, and I've actually been told on my channel that people have unsubscribed to me because I swear.
Oh, too fucking bad.
Well, good for them, right? They can go fucking be best friends with Doreen Virtue.
Well, hey, there's a little animosity here today because she renounced tarot and basically put it back to the Stone Age.
Should not have read that article, but I did. I sure did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again. Is this coming back of her rebaptism and, you know, now spitting on all of her previous works and all that crap? Is that the one?
She denounced tarot and basically said it's evil. And
well, my cards have got something to say about that. So I'm just going to have a look at this quiet message.
I can't, like, this I'm gonna have to do the unthinkable, and I'm gonna have to put this deck away for a few days, I think.
Why don't you try another one?
That's all I have around me right now. This is it.
Try reversing it.
He wants to give you the finger right
Give it a little go.
Uh-huh. No.
Ooh.
So
No to resistance.
what
It's
was
like
it?
Lego. He's the piece of resistance.
I am the piece of resistance. I will
He's
not.
a master builder.
I love that movie. It's so good.
Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome. Don't get me started. You did it. You did this. All right, so I'm gonna start this off so I can get this. Well, that's not gonna be worded in the right way, but this card is gonna crack you up. So, you said that you mentioned that you were feeling lost, right? You didn't know. Like, you mentioned that. You mentioned something about being lost, and so the Fool had to make itself known to you today that he is also lost. And the message in the Fool is that sometimes it is okay to be lost. I often feel lost, but you know what? Because we get lost, that means that we have someplace to find. And so trust in the journey right now. And you know that old adage, everybody says it's about the journey, not the destination or whatever. And so this is for you about dialing into the journey and where you are and forgetting about the destination for a little bit.
Beautiful.
I feel like you're next to Avalon.
Yeah, I feel like I'm next too because I've got the Queen of Swords. Now, two ways. I need to say two things here because there's two perspectives that I can take on this one, particularly because Chay's got the Fool card, right? The Spirit in Search of Experience. So there's two things that you can do here. You can either seek out a teacher, a mentor, someone to assist you to find your center, or you can become a teacher or a mentor to assist other people to find their compass and direction. Either way, it's time to spend a little bit of extra time and energy in the mind space, in the area of you know, creative flow, inspiration, Arwen. It's very much here in this card, and determine from that beautiful space what exactly it is that you want to do. Doesn't matter what's going on and what your conditions are, your capacities are at this moment in time. What would you like to do? You know, you're the Fool, you're the Spirit in Search of Experience. What do you want to do? Like, just throw it out there and then do this crazy thing and go do that.
And
either seek it out or teach it. There you go.
So I got the card that I got out of the Samadhi Oracle was this one. What does it say? Sahasrara. If I can't even say that. Anyways, it means understanding. And it is the crown chakra. So with everything that Avalon just said, with the Queen of Swords coming up, I kind of feel like that's more student than teacher. Because when you're called to open your crown chakra and really understand something, and you have the Queen of Swords next to it, it's kind of like you have to take in new knowledge to process it versus teaching it before you can learn it. At least that's the way that I'm viewing this. And also, I don't know if there's a proper exercise. You know, it might be meditation itself. Sometimes therapeutic spiritual techniques will come up in readings. A lot of times it'll be journaling, or diet will come up too a lot, things like that. But perhaps meditating is what's going to give you the understanding and the answers that you're looking for, especially because with this card, you want to access your crown chakra. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, well, there's lots of ways, but the best way for somebody who is lost to do that is not to mess around like in spirit realms and all that, but meditate and see what happens. That would be my advice.
It's good advice. So we're coming on to almost 2 hours. We've got about 3 minutes left. So we might be able to power through the last of these questions if we do them really quickly, and then call it a day and a night.
How many do you have?
I have a card if you each want to take one. I've got a card already for the next question, and then you can take one. Okay. Laura, you can take one. Avalon.
Wait, how many are there? That's what I'm trying to.
There's 2.
Oh, there's 2. Oh. Just kidding. 1. Oh, there is only 2. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay. But I already do have.
You start, Chase, if you've got your card.
I do. So just to reiterate what the question is, so she says, Mandy Mama working on a major life change and releasing negative patterns. What advice does the tarot have for me as I move forward? So what I drew was the 2 of Pence, and this is all about juggling. What is important to you? This is going to be a time where you really have to figure out what it is in your life that is giving you life and what is not, and taking that stuff that is not giving you life and just cutting it out so you don't have to keep juggling it. It's pointless to juggle something that isn't helping you. The only reason that a juggler juggles is because it entertains people, or it's giving him, he juggles because it's his job, or a juggler just doesn't juggle because for no reason, you know what I mean? So so it's important to just take those things that are just not doing anything for you, and it's going to take, I feel like the card is trying to say that's going to take some time, and it's not going to be that easy. We can talk about it and it sounds easy, but really literally sit down with pen and paper and write down, take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, put it on the left side with those things that you are finding that are helping you, and then on the other side, write down the things that aren't, and the things that aren't, just cut them out. Don't waste time on it.
Yeah, I like that. I got the World card. And so for me, that means to take a holistic approach. Take the full perspective into account. And only then, I think, can we really genuinely analyze those repetitive patterns, because I've done this probably, to be very honest, probably only twice in my life. And it is something that I would like to do more, is analyze my patterns. It's very difficult. It's actually easier to have someone point them out to you than it is for you to self-analyze, because you're always going to come at it from a biased point of view, whether you really genuinely want to or not. So sometimes that can mean seeking help outside of your sphere so that you can gain a much more holistic understanding. And it can be, it can be taking several approaches to assisting you. And, but yeah, I think a holistic overview is definitely called for here. Allora.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was typing. Okay. And okay, so major life change, releasing negative patterns. This is the card that came up for you. I had to draw several times because every time something came out, I was like, no, that's not it. And it was coming out all weird. But anyways, so this is joy. Why is it not focusing? Come on, there we go. I feel like Arwen right now. So this is the joy card. So I would say to keep in mind as you're releasing negative patterns, one, you're not going to release every negative pattern ever overnight. There are certain shadows that we all have that from my perspective, it doesn't matter how much you heal them, how much you overcome them or whatever. It's like a recurring thing. Like you'll be okay for a while and then something will happen and it will bring this shadow back up that you thought that you had worked on. With that being said, celebrate the small victories. Don't look at, negative thought patterns that you're unable to change instantaneously as failure or as not good enough or anything like that. Because one thing I do know personally about shadow work is that stuff's a little at a time, because you can easily drive yourself into a hole that you can't get yourself out of. So it's important that all along the way, as you take these smaller steps, that you kind of take a break from it, celebrate what you've let go, and kind of sit in the joy of that, and then continue forward. And that'd be my advice. All right, what's the last one?
Okay. That was it. Oh no, we've got Mystic Moon. This is our very last one.
Yes, and I already have my cards drawn for that if you want me to start.
Yep, do it. For those wanting to watch, Mystic Moon's question is, what energies are currently surrounding me, possibly working for me or against me?
I love this friggin' oracle, man. This thing's on fire tonight.
Yeah, that oracle's pretty good. So what I did was, when I do readings for people, I often, if I need like a clarifier card, there is the deep card, what we call the deep card. And it's the card at the bottom of the deck after you've laid out your spread. And like the card at the bottom is going to be the card that is like the anti whatever it is that we're talking about. So I took that and I actually drew 2 cards for you. So the card that I drew is the 4, and the deep card is going to be your against. And I'm going to take this in very Kabbalistic terms. So the 4 card is, again, I've drawn this twice tonight, the 3 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords, can I talk? Kabbalistically, the 3 is about structure. So what's going for you is that you've built good structure. Your foundation is solid. And I love that these 2 cards are going to play together really well when talking about Kabbalistic terms. And so the card that is against you is the 7 of Pants. And 7 is about results. So the thing that you have is the foundation, but what you're struggling on is getting it actually done. So it's going to be, the struggle in between those is going to be the actual getting the fire to actually get it done.
I think I'm next. Because I got self-discipline. So to get from point A to point B, you have to have some self-discipline, and you have to be rigid with yourself, and you have to implement routines and structures and ways to help yourself with whatever it is that you're working on. And yeah, so definitely harness some self-discipline and have some boundaries and some rules and some guidelines for yourself.
All right, I've got the Princess of Cups. Okay, and I want to say this as a person who is a Taurus, we get a bad rap. We get a bad rap for being just far too rigid, far too structured, far too repetitive. We get a bad rap. We're gorgeous, literally gorgeous. The most beautiful sign in the zodiac is what they say about us.
No, right? That's not. That's a Virgo.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, that's what they say. We are also, just side note, we also make some pretty extreme dictators, and that's the thing. Anyways, but what I would like to say here is that in keeping with exactly what Allora has just said, there is this bad or this incorrect assumption that when you are structured and you're focused and you're following, let's say, a more traditional route, that everything else falls to the way and it's boring and it's rigid and it's structured and there's, you know, it feels like hard work. It feels like boring, repetitive, hard work. It's just, but actually it's not. When you are engaged in something that you genuinely connect with, and you're being structured and repetitive and focused in that, what I feel happens is that we somehow in that flow, we get into a flow, and somehow in that flow, we really genuinely activate the very innocent side of our intuition, the side of our intuition that is very open and very willing to just speak and to feel. It's the young side of the mind. It's the young side of the spirit, because it's the one that we don't have an inner monologue sort of floating through and tainting in our ways. When we're ultra focused on something and we're in the zone, then our mind can float off into another place, and that other place will have a whisper for us, will have a wisdom for us, will have an intuitive hit for us. And I think that that's a little princess there. It's a little princess cup saying for you. It's also saying bring a basket of, that's a turtle. Bring a turtle in a shell to a dolphin with a flower in its mouth.
I thought you were going to say it's also saying bring a bottle of wine to Australia. Okay, that's what I was waiting.
That too. Also. All right, folks, that is our readings for today. That is our show for today. And it was, let's just go with a wild time. It was a pretty wild time. We had some laughs. We have some lewd behavior, mostly me. I take responsibility for that. Everybody else was very elegant. I literally drug them into this, into the naughtiness. But I feel better now. I feel good. Thank you for sharing space with us. Thank you for your lovely comments. Thank you for your input as always. Thank you for those crazy thumbs up too. I just checked. We've got 19. We've got a few more to go. Yeah. But comment and like and share and subscribe. Go to our Facebook page and tell us what you want to see. How about that? How about just tell us what you want to see? What would you like us to talk about? What are some fun topics that you would like for us to go and adventure on together and see where that takes us? But for now, we are going to go. I hope this eclipse is treating you well enough to kick a little ass, and if it's not and you're having a hard time, then it's okay to sleep, to drink, to have sex, and to escape in some concept, as long as it's a healthy a healthy balance there, you know. So be kind to yourselves. Wishing you so much love, luck, peace, and joy. Mwah. Bye from me.
Me, she's pointing at me. I love you guys endlessly to the earth. You guys know this. Thank you guys for joining us for yet another amazing, wild episode of Spread This Witches. We have officially let everybody know that no topic is off limits, and we will go wherever we fucking want to. It's our show and we talk about whatever. So nothing is off limits. We go anywhere and everywhere. I love you guys immensely. And I am sending loving energy away, and just go out tomorrow and show somebody that you don't normally show some love, and just see how far that takes you through your day.
Okay, I had Chase go next because I have the button, so it only made sense for me to go last. But anyways, so nominations for the first annual STW Community Tarot Awards go up tonight. Like, share. It will be on our Facebook page, and everybody gets. You can vote on everything. It's completely open. It'll come straight to us. The broadcast is September 18th at our regularly scheduled time. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Saw some new faces and some of our awesome regulars, and we love you guys. The moon and back, and we will see you next time.